Hey, what's up, y'all? So let's get into some stuff of the stuff, and we get into my girls are back, housewives in Miami, and baby, I am ready for the drama. Excuse me, really, excuse me. So I'm ready for the drama, y'all. So first of all, like, share, subscribe, join the channel. It's your boy Paul. So let's get down to it. This is episode 1. So we ended up doing a recap of Alexis and Todd love affair. Leading up to the marriage and all that stuff and everything, and then the downfall. So they ended up filming like 5 months before they caught the stuff. They were all happy and what this and that, and then bam. So apparently we got Alexis crying with Julia and Marisol, telling the story of what's been going on. And apparently they ended up going out to dinner. Her and her husband Todd, they go out to dinner, had a good night, went back home. Went back home. He did her in. He gave her that good world of world. He laid it down. Next morning, she got up. They got up for the day. He told her, go on ahead and do what you need to do. And he ended up packing up him and his daughter and cleaning out the house, cleaning out all this stuff and left. But Frankie was there the whole time he was doing all this. So it's really shocking that you would actually do that to Frankie. And you know how Frankie's being more independent and stuff, and it's set up to where you actually have to literally tell him what's going on so that he can process it and be okay with the situation. But he didn't do that. He was just packing up stuff and leaving, not saying nothing to Frankie. So she got back. She was shocked. Frankie asked her, like, what's going on? Todd not here. Todd left. And she really don't know what to say. Yeah. So, yeah, he moved out. After that, he filed for a divorce. So she is so floored and she can't believe this is happening. She can't believe it. She crying. I said, oh my God. I said, girl. I said, yeah. As they showing everything that's going on. Like, she crying. She can't believe this stuff is happening and all this. She blindsided. But I said, girl, you gave up that house that you gave up that gorgeous penthouse you had that was already paid for. He had you move out of that into another place. I said, I hope that she actually still have that property, because that's where I'll be moving back into, with your car that go directly to your house, girl. Yeah. So she crying with all the ladies around and stuff like that. And I've been missing me some Adriana. You don't understand. Adriana, they showing the clips of this, what's going on, like all this stuff, because it went into the blogs and everything. And they showing left and right they show Adriana meeting up with, I want to say, was she with Julia? Julia, she either was with Julia, Gertie, and Kiki. Well, she met up with one of them, two of them, and she said, she went, last year I was telling her, but I wouldn't put that. I wouldn't want nobody to go through that. But she went, I'll be there for her if she needs me. But they all ended up all together. She crying and everything. So everybody rallying around her before riding around her. But it's Adriana, Kiki sitting on the side, just looking. Adriana got her drink in her hand. Adriana went, oh, it all makes sense now. I said, now that's my girl. I love it. They get up and hugged her, and all the ladies did get up and hug her and everything. So that happened 5 months. Now we get into 5 months later. So we got Alexis, Marisol, and Lisa meeting up. So before Lisa, they meeting up for dinner or whatever. I want to say dinner or lunch, one of them. And before Lisa came, we got Alexis and Marisol talking and whatever. We end up finding out more detail. So Marisol is kind of pissed because Marisol just found out that this heifer, Alexis, is still in contact with Todd. Todd, after all he didn't put her through. and she's still messing around with him. They've been chit chatting for the past week or so, and going places and things like that. And they haven't talked about. He haven't talked about anything. He's saying, well, she said he said the sex was that she gave him the best sex ever. I said, I bet you did, girl. But I said his funny scenes a little funny to me. And I said he was only with you because you had money. You had money from the mobster you dated back in the what 80s. You had that type of money. Then you had the husband, because you were still married to him. Y'all was still just going through divorce or whatever. Y'all didn't get divorced yet. You were still married to him. So you got that money whatever money you got from him doing that. Your own money from your the nail salon spa that you have with you and Frankie have. I said the money from that. I said this man wanted your money. He wanted the status. He needed what you had. So she said, she ain't gonna give up on that relationship. She said it ain't over until she said it's not over. Something ain't over to your heart. It's over them or whatever. It was some bull crap. I said, yeah. Alexis gonna be Alexis. So, as they sitting there, so Marisol said, yeah, I was a little shocked that you still messing with him after all he didn't put you through. She ain't, well, but I still love him. I still want to be with him and stuff like that. So, they start talking about Lisa. They said they hoping that Lisa and Lenny, because Lenny then broke up with the girl. Lenny then broke up with the woman he was having an affair with. The girl finally found her another man with some more money and probably younger because she was young anyway. So they hoping that she don't end up back with Lenny because they know Lisa, and we all know Lisa will go down that road again. But Lisa ended up showing up. They ended up having a little chit chat, and Lisa was so convincing where she said that her and Lenny maybe they may get back together. She played it out. The ladies were so in shock, like, girl, is you going down this road? So, I'm just joking. I'm not getting back with him because I got she got what's his name? The dude she been dating. I can't remember. Jody. She got Jody. So she got Jody, and so she said, no, if I, no, I wouldn't go down that road. I said, if you didn't have Jody, you would be right back with Lenny because he ain't got nobody. And well, that was now, but we didn't see. We're gonna get into the other stuff. But so they have a little chit chat there. Then they start talking about the issue with her and Lisa, with her and Larson, and saying, she tell them about that. Uh, her and Larson. Yeah, she tell them about her and that they still was talking to Marcus. Well, she's still following Marcus on social media. So the Lexus and them said, girl, why are you still doing that? And Lexus said, because Lexus said, I never followed him. Lexus said, I never followed him to begin with. Lexus don't care. Lexus care about Alexis. So, she said I still follow him, and she said Jody wants to invite him to his birthday party that she's throwing for him, and stuff like that. And her and Lawson is not on good terms right now. So we move past them. So we move on to Julia and Martinez. So they're at home, and Julia and Martinez just told us that they adopted two boys, ages 3 and 1, ages 3 and 1, two boys, ages 3 and 1. Martinez was like we grandparents, right? We old enough to be their grandparents, and we got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old little boys. Like, so apparently they talked about that. Then Julia did like this she did like a video call. She tells Marisol about because Martina asked how did the girls take it when you told them the news. She said tell about that she did a video call with all the ladies on the phone. I think one of the ladies couldn't make it. Was it Kiki? I think it was Kiki. Kiki. I think Kiki may not could have made it because Kiki had other things going on. If I'm remembering right, but Gertie had came into the thing, but Gertie had to go of the out of the link, out of the chat, because Gertie was actually at. Gertie said she had a meeting and had appointments to do. So after she got done with her appointments, she was trying to get back in. She hit up Julia, and Julia acted like Julia synced her trying to get back in. Send me the link, and Julia sent the text or whatever telling the girl, she said, so what happened? What was going on? She said, you'll find out. She said, you'll find out like everybody else. So when Gertie ended up hearing the news, because I think one of the ladies may have told her, she texted her, congratulations. She congratulations. That's all she said. So now Julia got an attitude because it just seemed like it was just dry and all that. So Martina asked her, so what you gonna do about it? So now Martina got an issue with Gertie too. I said, bitch, I don't even care. I said, at this point, I'm congratulating Martinez on you being cancer free, but bitch, you need to wake the fuck up and stop acting foolish. Because I said, now you trying to act, now you acting how you truly is. I already know who you are from tennis, and you're a you are one of the greatest female tennis players, but I said, you nasty. You have a nasty personality overall. And you literally are showing it now. I got it. So Julia has said, I gotta I'm stay away from negativity and stuff like that and whatever. I said, girl, get the hell out of here. Gertie got other things going on in her life. Gertie dealing with, going through her cancer thing, and all the stuff she got to go through with that, and the mental state that you have to deal with on top of going through all of that. She don't got time for that. But we're gonna move on past that heifer. So now she's mad at Gertie. So we move on past now. We get into Lisa and Jody. So Lisa and Jody then moved. Okay, so she then moved it out of the rental house that she had, and she then moved in with him. She and Jody then got another. Jody then moved out of his place that he remodeled, and they now live together. I said, huh? I said, you ain't learned a damn thing, have you, Lisa? I said, you give Lisa a bad name, girl. You give her a bad name. And then on top of that, I said, if I'm not mistaken, Lisa's a Leo. I said, girl, you definitely give Leo. If you is a Leo, if I remember right, I said, girl, you give us a bad name all the way around. Because, no. So she ain't moved in with Jody. Her and Jody moved into a new place together and stuff like that. And they end up talking about his party that's coming up and who he invited. And he said, we don't have to invite Marcus, because he don't want no issue going on, with Larson and whatever. He don't want nothing to do with that. And we talked about, it was something else that they talked about during that conversation. Lisa talked about something else. Okay, Lisa talked about. I wrote it down. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, that was it. That was it. It's like that was all that they talked about doing that they little session. So let's move on to Larson. So Larson is at home with her at her house. Her mom came in town. She said her mom usually stayed for 2 months. So mom is mom cooking and stuff like that. And she trying to tell her mom what she cooking. And her mom said, what you doing? Her mom said, do you want to cook? She said, no, you can go ahead and do it. Her mom said, okay. Yeah, so they ended up having a little conversation where she talked about Marcus for a little bit. She said that she tell us that Marcus, she said it wasn't working out with her and Marcus because she said her kids actually told her that she needed to leave him alone because the kids really didn't like him at all. And on top of that, it's like it was always a breakup going on and stuff. And she said that the relationship didn't really it wasn't aligning. And when he would like to go to the club and stay into his clothes. I said, girl, we know why he's staying into his clothes. He got to get a stealth. He was doing what he was doing. And so she talked about that. Then she talked about that he's been online dogging her ever since the breakup. I said, girl, yeah, he gonna dog you. What you think? What do you think? You knew what you was getting into. You knew what you was getting into when it came to Marcus. But I said he gonna dog you, and I said him doing them drugs is hyping everything. But she talked about that. Um, she talked about that she mad at Lisa because Lisa is still cool with him and whatever. Oh, hold up. Okay, okay. I'm looking at the notes. Got caught up in it. So that's what's going on with her. Then we go back to Lisa and Jody. So she ended up getting a text from her brother that her dad is ill. Her dad is ill, and her dad had just reconnected last year. And she's like worried about everything because they didn't reconnect it and stuff. And I'm praying for her and her family. Everything works out. Let's move on past that. Let's get into my girl Kiki. My girl Kiki showed up. She on a yacht. She on a yacht, baby, on a yacht. She had to get her home girl, Gertie, to come out. They hanging out, chit chatting. You know, ended up doing a little chit chat where Gertie being supportive of Kiki being supportive of Gertie. Because Gertie talked about that she had to have six. She had already had 6 surgeries dealing with breast cancer. She done had already had 6 surgeries. She's dealing with her body and stuff like that, and she's worried. She's a little worried about her husband because, you know, she thinking when he said he's good, he's fine with with her body and everything. He loves her body. He don't look at it no different. But I think Gertie. I don't know if she's going to therapy or not because I think to me she be putting things on him. She put her insecurities with dealing with this cancer and the after effects with the surgery and stuff like that, and her looking in the mirror at herself and not seeing the original her original body, you know. And then I think she putting it on him. But we move past that, and then let's get into. So we ended up finding out another thing about. So Kiki got an older. Kiki got a son who was already gone off to college. I said, damn. I said, I forget she had 2 kids. I didn't know the son was already, you know, high school, gone now, he in college. She didn't move to the new house. She had a boyfriend at the time, but things didn't work out. Cause apparently I wanna say I wrote it down, I think he was cheating. Yeah. Or had somebody else already. It was something going on. She had to let him go. So she back to the streets. So we moved past that. So let's get into. We're gonna get down to it because I'm running out. My time is running up, and we get to the party. That Lisa threw for Jody. It was mostly a birthday party for herself because she then switched outfits twice. Gertie ended up trying to talk to Julia and Martina. They giving her a little slide high and whatever, and she said congratulations to them on the baby. She tried to talk to Martina, and Martina and walked away. So she ended up having a conversation later on with Martina and telling her what happened, that she tried to get back in the link because she couldn't get in because she had an appointment and stuff. She went, well, Martina was acting fake. And I said, I'm really not liking her. I'm not liking her. I don't care. I don't like her anymore. She's a done deal. Julia got an attitude because they over there talking and she's mad at Gertie because she said Gertie ain't a real friend. I said, girl, get the hell out of here because you've been hanging around Alexis and Marisol. Now you done turned a whole new leaf. By heifer. So apparently my girl Adriana showed up with her new man. She got her a French man, tall. I said, good for you, girl. All kissing up on him. They thought, Marisol was the one. I said, that's a jealous heifer. She's so jealous of Adriana said, oh, is they finna have sex right there? Girl, get a room. Cause you mad. We know that Lisa and Lisa and Lawson end up getting into it. That was the big thing about it. They go back and forth. Lisa said, your first breakup with Marcus was fake, and that made her go off on Lisa. Told Lisa, only thing you care about is your fake ass parties. So they going back and forth. Lisa said, get out my house, because she didn't call Lisa a bitch and everything, and nothing was resolved at that point. But that's all that happened. I said, these heifers gonna give me the good stuff this season. And I can't wait. But that's all that happened, y'all. It's your boy Paul. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. And I hope we get more into Adriana and what's going on with her. Cause yeah, this new dude, good for her. Bye y'all.